Let's see, how do I do this? I was supposed to post a link that I was actually going to be streaming this, and now I'm trying to, figure out what I'm doing. Not like I'm a master at these things. Yeah, part of the reason I was going to post that I was streaming this is because I decided I would show some of the ZeroG.
My name is Tucker, aka Jer.
Okay, that gets me commercials, but where's my channel? And okay, there we go. Let's see. Click over here. Click there. Challenge discussion. I will. There we go. Okay. Okay. Just made a note that I was streaming now. Okay. Now let's get back to where I see Empyrion. Multiple windows open on my computer. Let's see. And it was the challenge. Oh wait, I think I was supposed to also link. So if some people do want to see, it was on the official. Granted, I'm putting in there unless I don't know how to set up. I'm sure I could figure it out, but I don't know yet how to set up. No, that's not. That's wrong. That's my conversation with. So I'm not even sure you'll be able to see that. It's conversation. How do I? Is there a way to delete my text where I'm like, yeah, let's do that? Oh well. So you see, I did a private conversation with someone. You probably won't be able to see it. I don't know. That was a wrong link. Wrong. Wrong link. Let me get that right. Let's see. Hold on. But the thing is that putting these links in here, it'll be when someone comes back and watches it later or something, they should be able to see it. Okay, so if I go to the forms and the Empyrion. Oh, this is one of the things I was going to do before I started, and then I forgot. I was going to copy. No, I didn't do that. I copied some other information. So I have a bunch of these blueprints that I'm going to be looking at. I made notes in a Google spreadsheet. The name of the blueprint. So then I'll go there. I'm looking at them. Granted, I've spawned them all in already. Some of them I've already started to look at a little bit, but I'll go through them anyways. Looking at these. But I made a note of in the spreadsheet, with the name of the blueprint, so I could then match it with who created it, and a link that I could then possibly drop in here to say to their workshop page. A couple of them are EPBs files. Let's see. Okay, here we go. So this would be the challenge on the official Empyrion forums where they posted there, and in there they included a link for the ZeroG Discord, where you could also find this stuff. So I'm just going to put in here for documentation purposes. When I copy this over to YouTube, I can definitely put these in the description for YouTube a lot easier. So okay, that gets us that. Now I did spend some time browsing the rules for the challenges, and I'm not entirely sure on this if we were supposed to be restricted to just one submission or not. I would a lot of the challenges, unless stated otherwise, typically tend to be you get one submission and stuff. But this one I'm not sure. So I'm going to start here where let's see. Hold on. I went flipping pages on my browser, and now I don't see my Google spreadsheet. The user, I'm probably going to butcher this. Probably butcher most of these things. Anyways, for this stuff, the user Khazul, they had submitted initially. They had posted one, and then they did another, and I don't know if the second submission is supposed to be their official submission or if they're both submissions. But they, they're the first what they posted actually is kind of interesting and unique to look at itself. The stuff. So I thought I'd start. I did put them both in here. It's not like I'm doing this officially. I'm as part of ZeroG. I'm just doing this on my own because I thought, well, I wanted to go see them, take a look at them, and I might as well share it and this stuff. So we have here this one. I'll have to get closer here. CX4 Scythe. Okay. And so I'll just put here the CX4 Scythe. And this here should be the link to the stuff. So the workshop page for this. Just looking at this. This one I have not poked through yet, other than I just looked at the outside of it. You can definitely see the spots where the circles and the X marking where they going to add where you can add on fixed weapons, and it looks like to me. I noticed here I've seen a few designs on the workshop where they're doing an arrangement where all weapons have a forward firing arc, the stuff to shoot something straight in front of the vessel to focus the fire of the turrets and stuff. This usually I've seen the two arms on the side. I do not think I don't know the name of the beetle, but that it makes me think of the headpiece on some beetles. Seeing the rack of these guns turrets here in the front. Now, one of the challenge requirements was that the vessels were to be made out of let's see, it was supposed to be unlock level 15 at the top end, I believe, and we were supposed to keep the erestrum and the zascosium underneath 1500, so we're underneath that for each of those. So unlock level 15 that, and the vessel was supposed to be made out of steel and carbon composite blocks and be a combat vessel. So a lot of us are going to be relying on our shields. This has got a tier 2 shield on it. This is a tier 3 vessel. It looks like we're pushing pretty close to, so 1,480,000, pushing pretty close to the they're on tier 3. Let's go take a look around here. I'll get some spots marked for some more additional turrets. I was looking at some of these turrets earlier. It looks like they are retractable turrets, so might be interesting to see. It might be interesting to see what what it looks like with those all retracted in, but I don't know. It looks pretty cool with me. At least to me, it looks pretty cool with those extended out. I just so I've got our okay. So I don't know. Oh, I think I see a hint of a ramp here, which... Oh, the other way. Okay. Oh, there's our core already. Oh, a teleporter. I didn't put a teleporter on mine. Mine's actually a tier 2. I actually submitted one for this, and it's in the lineup of all these vessels. Oh, it's interesting. The door up there. Extending ramp. Okay. Okay, it does have a gap. Like, yeah, that doesn't take me right down to the. Granted, let's see how big of a gap is that. That might actually be a couple blocks. Your HV might need to be able to jump. I don't know. Oh, signals, instructions here, signal switches, ground, gravity, weapons and turret signals. Okay. Turn it on, turn it off. I'm guessing that they were on by default, but I might have just flipped them off, turned them off. Okay, we got some advanced constructors. Sorry, I might play this game a bit. That doesn't mean I'm going to identify everything by sight. Just remembering, I probably, as I wander around here, I might want to pay attention to, of course, if I wandered in there, then of course things are going to be a little toasty on the radiation and so forth. And since that's up there, 320,000, I wouldn't be surprised if that's probably another 320,000. I just realized they left some instructions for upgrading. Replace this ore controller, or replace this for upgrade for harvesting. Replace the car controller with the ore controller. Replace 6 marked block in front with mining. Laser drills. Replace 9 marked blocks above bridge with retractable tool turret. Okay. Set drills and tools to follow harvest signal. Remove this LCD when done. Okay. Oh, what is this? Oh, repair bay off, repair bay on. Cool. Oh, yeah, here we have our shower with a curtain. Oh, I didn't, I should have, I kind of saw the number there before, but I didn't make the connection. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, that's F4. Cargo box, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10. Container controller 1, container controller 2. We have a container controller ammo. Looks like 160,000 if I'm reading that right. I've got a little box over here that's, because I've got my multi-tool selected and it's telling me what I'm pointed at. It's right over there. Okay, controller. Okay. Okay. Bunch of constructors. I'm guessing this is our ammo controller. Yep. Core right there. A little ledge dividing our parking area. You could park some small SVs up here. Oh, I like that. View some of the generators. Little service hatch. You can actually get in there and service it. I'm matching on the other side. And here's our bridge. Wait, I thought oh, it's turrets are separate. Guns. Oh, guns is probably if I rigged up some guns and had the guns follow that. I'm guessing. I don't know. Maybe there. I don't recall seeing any. Well, maybe. No, I don't recall seeing any guns actually attached to this yet. Oh, turrets. Oh, cool. They actually included some NPC. Oh, that is a very small bedroom. Oh, it opens up over here. Get a little, in case you're having trouble accessing the bedroom. Cool. Oh, wait. Well, that texture looks a little different to me. Yeah, I recognize it from this right here, but then seeing it here, that is interesting. Actually looks kind of cool, missing the parts above and below. Interesting. Okay, I seem to see that this elevator went up a bit more. Oh, this looks like it's just access to the roof. We have some parking spaces up here. And parking space. Thought the instructions mentioned a bunch of marked spots above the bridge. But for the one upgrade, I don't know, I'm seeing some marked spots there. Yeah. I love this. Okay, I'm going to go to God mode because it's not as noisy. Part of the reason I was doing with it not in God mode is because there's one of these here that seeing some of the construction, I'm like, I've really got to walk through it. I can't just doing God mode stuff. I had to walk. I just felt that I had to walk through it. When we get to it, I will. Well, I'm probably going to do that for a lot of these. Okay. So this, for all I know, could actually be their official entry, this stuff. Or they're both entries. I don't know. I'm taking a look at them both. This one I actually also looked at the exterior a little bit here. Let's go with God mode to go up here a little quietly. Again, we see, in this case, we're seeing some marked spots here and here. Add your fixed weapons. That stuff. We see the turrets being tiered, but this time they're tiered on the exterior, so that they should have clean shots, not blocking each other, towards targets in the front of the vessel. The only thing that would probably be getting in their way of shooting some targets might be the front of the vessel itself, the front of this vessel itself. But it won't be other turrets blocking them. Stuff. So they, all tiered on top, tiered on bottom. Oh, I'm getting it. I remember seeing this, the pictures of this, and thinking, oh, that's interesting that they put these decorative elements sticking out there. But then I see here on the landing gear, I'm like, oh, it makes sense. It makes sense. That gives them the landing gear out here. So this thing, they still get the tiers going up with their weapons, but this sticks out here to the landing gear to land flat. Okay, I get it. I get it. Looks like there's still some spots marked for expansion upgrade. Okay, we have our ramp. Oh, I noticed. I was looking at the other one. It looks like they're using that same deco thing going on here. It seems to be over there. Seems to be a little bit of a theme, well, you know, a pattern, a marker. Oh, cockpit right here. Looks like we have to go around. We have an elevator up to our hangar. Oh, upgrade to tier 4 weapons. Wait a minute. I'm curious. I forgot to check here. This how's our erestrum and zascosium? We're still within. I thought it was. 1,463,000. So we're still within the tier 3. And I don't recall that they. I want to say this set a level limit. So I think it's mostly, I think, tier 4. I'd have to look. Capital vessel, devices, tier 4 extender, unlock level 20. So so it is because the restriction on unlock level then restricts us to tier 3, the tops. And let's see, we're going on CPU statistics, steel, carbon. There was, even though we were told to stay away from the heavy steel block, was it? And the combat steel stuff. What is the, come on. Hardened steel block. So even though we were told to stay away from that, and that our builds, there was no specific restriction about the armored windows and the heavy windows. So I've noticed that those have been in the builds, and that might be actually some of the toughest spots on some of the vessels. Granted, I'm sure design and construction also play some role in that. Oh, it looks like from here, it looks like we have some grow plots, some farming around there. Okay. Yeah. Another pilot seat. Okay. Did they change their and this is just containers. 240,000. $160,000 ammo. 160,000 ore. And I'm guessing that over here we probably have another 240,000. Okay. Wait, hold on. Oh, wait. I think it's meant to be read this way. Landing pad. Okay. Oh, that's probably referring to this pad up there. Hangar level 1 down. Hangar level... Oh, landing pad I'm guessing is roof then. Hangar level 2. Ground exit. Okay. Hydroponics. Grow plots. Add 36 grow plots. 72 total. Switch on growing light from control panel. Remove this LCD when done. Well, that's... I'm beginning to think that that might be... I've used sideways cockpits before, but then they... I know in single player, a lot, unless you turn on the enforcement of the device limits, they're not enforced. Again, unless you turn it on and stuff. Cockpit CV. It says unlock level, da da da. What? Oh, is the limit gone? Okay, I thought for a while there was a limit on that. Do they, and which I was finding frustrating and irritating and annoying. Maximum amount 2 on SV though. Okay. Maybe I don't know, maybe it's never had the limit on the capital vessel cockpits and I just didn't catch it. I got focused on the maximum amount of the SV cockpits. And it was actually a massive SV that I was using, that I had, I want to say, 6 cockpits, although it really only needed 4 of those because it could fly forwards, backwards, this stuff. And then I had cockpits on each side, with the idea being that you could then, and I'm guessing that might be similar here, that you would, especially with a nice good view here, stuff. My guess is something like with a door flush on the side of the CV, is that you would then you'd get in, jump in this cockpit, and you'd looking out the window, you'd basically pull this up. Now it makes me wonder if there's a. Okay, let's turn on the. Oh, let's do God mode, so it's not as loud and stuff. Makes me wonder if there's a docking pad over on the sides. Okay, so there's no docking pad over here. But it does make me wonder. Oh, that looks like a space that could be reserved for artillery turret, which would get in the way, potentially. Other than it's back there, and depending on all the stuff, but you could actually pull this up to, space station. That'd be my guess. Is that it would be, so you, kind of like a side dock onto to a space station, which you don't actually get docking, but you could still pull up there. Okay. Where the other one had a little bit of fabrication on each side, this one has a massive, all the fabrication located on one side, and it looked like the other side was a medical facility. Again, a teleporter, stuff. The core here, not right off the elevator like the other one was, where actually it's behind glass. And engineering. Okay, cool. And here we go. It says quarters, medical. Okay. Okay, what do we got up here? Oh, like, yeah, bunks. So your nicer officers' quarters, and then your general crew quarters above. Let's see. I usually don't do PvP, so I usually have not worried about offline protection, but, let's see, control panel, auxiliary thrusters, okay. Gravity governor on off. Interesting. Yeah, I've done similar to this myself. Yes, it gives alternate places that you could, if your one cockpit is destroyed, but granted, in this sort of thing, they're really much right there, so there's a modest chance that something has destroyed the front and destroyed that one. They may have destroyed these as well, but I've certainly used these here in past, before I got myself believing that there was a restriction on number of cockpits on a capital vessel as well as SVs. Confusing myself apparently, as I've just learned in here in this session. But yeah, I've certainly used those because they look like a place where someone would sit down, and they, with the several councils there, make you think of Star Trek and other sites games where the or there's a team controlling the bridge, and they actually have a seat with controls. Okay, so let's go take it. Go up. Okay, parking spots like their other build on a second level. And I think I hear something. Oh, there's a, oh, here we go. Our extenders. Oh, and it's a, there we go. We can build a, I got space for some additional generators and some additional extenders. And space, if I didn't want or too close to those generators, I probably could have done it just fine without getting roasted. And here we go. Okay. Thanks to the nature of this design here, it's pretty easy for me to just walk around on down through the tiers. Okay. Cool. Okay. Well, part of me would love to just keep wandering and looking out this one a little bit more. Why don't we go on? This is the... Okay. It says frigid. Okay. I put down the names that they were marked on their web page, but it looks like I don't have any written down here on my spreadsheet as frigid. So it's possible that Jupiter Crater Jupiter Vessel Corp. So that would be the Tiger Paw. At least that's what I have written on my it was called the Tiger Paw when I pulled it off the I was looking at the workshop page. Okay. So that, at least that's what I have written down, that the workshop page, that this was the Tiger Paw. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to okay, copy that in there, and this is by the Jupiter Vessel Corp. Okay. Let's see. Admire some of the work here. Oh, another requirement of the challenge here, I don't know if you've picked up on it, stuff, is that all thrusters were supposed to be exposed. I want to say there was some discussion about using some of the blocks that officially don't block thrusters, although they would probably block damaging shots. So, they would take potentially damage first. Oh, a blinking flare there. Stuff. I'm guessing that's a T for marking for where a turret can be added on. So that stuff. Oh. Okay, well, it's tempting to go in at the moment. I've now found, because it just revealed itself that way. But I'm not done admiring some of the outside here. Spotlights there. Currently not turned on. I did not specifically turn off the spotlights. I did fill the vessels up with fuel, oxygen, okay. We do have technically turrets partially blocking line of sight for each other here, but depending how you're using the vessel anyways, that may totally change how much of a issue that is. That would only be really an issue if you were taking them on directly in front. Based on the arrangement of these turrets here, a lot of them blocking sight, I am guessing that you would probably place your target in front but up from your vessel. I'm not seeing any fixed weapons, although I was suspecting that maybe you put some fixed weapons here, perhaps, but I'm not seeing any fixed weapons. So I'm thinking that you would just basically, you would put your opponent, put your target at an angle where your turrets don't block each other, and maximize your firepower from all these rocket turrets that way, would be my guess. And then a turret down here could be like, say, a minigun turret to deal with drones and predators. So let's get off God mode, drop back down. I am enjoying some of the beautiful texture work here. I love how this here makes it look like this is some sort of weapon, some sort of cannon of some, not some sort of energy weapon of some sort, but okay. I'm noticing this is sticking down into my bases. So welcome aboard the Tiger Paw. Oh yeah, it is the Tiger Paw, designed by Jupiter Vessel Corp. Okay. 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 Cargo bay lights. 0102. I feel like maybe I should know what 0102 is for this. I mean, that's bigger than I need for to upgrade your CPU tier. A little bit bigger space than you need for a generator, because that's 4 and stuff, and a generator will only be, the generator that I could think of, it would be, this is 2x4, and those generators are only 1x3, or the other one would be actually need 2 blocks tall, so this wouldn't be, that would be then and 6 blocks long, and this is too small for this, for the larger generators, but too small for the tier 1 large generator, or not too small, but not necessarily too large, but much larger than you need for the tier 1 large generator. So I'm not sure. Maybe if I keep wandering and exploring it, it will reveal what those are supposed to be. Is this supposed to be you throw in some container extensions, extend the cargo? Don't. Well, I suppose if I click here, I could then get a feel if it's actually. I'm not getting a. It's saying steel blocks around here, so I'm not getting that vibe directly of a. Don't know. Okay. I suppose if I read the workshop page, maybe it would tell me there too. I don't know. Let's see. I like that. Oh, I really like that. I love a nice way to handle some of these medical devices. I like that. Really do. Okay. There's our core back there. Okay, I feel like I'm getting lost. If I become desperately lost in here, I can use God mode and just zip out of it. Up to bridge. Okay. Okay. Idle mode. Okay. Apparently that's some sort of power save. Which I suppose I could turn it off and stuff, but okay. So it looks like each side takes you up to the bridge of that. Okay, and there's no ramp here. Just a hangar door. Stuff. Out of curiosity, huh? 2 blocks up. So it looks like for some of my HVs, I think that would, I don't know, because there is a solid object there. Could you somehow make it up? But it's angled the other way, so it'd be hard for HVs. I don't know. Can you not? I don't know. It might depend on the HV whether it can get up here from the ground, or if you need to have a HV booster and do a jump. Container extensions. Nearly 320,000. Okay. It's an advanced constructor. Oh, some LCD work in front. I like that. For a moment there, with that there, I was tempted to wonder if they had actually put it so you had to use a security code to get into it. There to turn on and off our repair bay, which I'm guessing you would install there where the R is. Okay. Ammo, actually 320,000 for the ammo. Grow light for, okay. Breakfast, eggs and coffee. Lunch, protein supplement and powder fruit drink. Dinner, fried chicken and tea. Ooh. Oh, this is the ramp I entered. not a real... I've wandered back here and didn't realize I was. Oh, that is a nice bathroom. Small living space. Extravagant bathroom. Oh, this is... I've already been to the medical. Does that mean I've hit pretty much everywhere I can? And then it goes down there, and then there was elevators up to the bridge. The core and the stuff. So if there is a way to access that area from in here, I think I've missed it. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's see. I am inclined to not do that one yet. That blue thing is my CV. I'm already familiar with that one. Okay, now this one I did some poking at a little earlier myself. This stuff. So, whereas I got my first look at that one just now. Now this one, I did notice here on a 1G world, I think you can do a... Granted, this is creative, so hit my J button for the jetpack, and I'm going to go right on up there. It's not going to... But in survival, I think I'm going to find that that's going to be a little more... It's possible on a 1G world, but it'll be an interesting challenge, making the mark to get into this vessel. Okay. But in space, that wouldn't be a problem at all. Okay, we got our curtain shower. I love the, using this texture on the walls to kind of carry it through. Oh. Quaint little bedroom and that stuff. Okay, I think I already covered that. Okay. I think... Okay. That is the exit to the roof. I mean, generator main idle thrusters off. Okay. The biggest thing I noticed about this one here is, as I was poking around, one of the things I did is I put pentaxid in the ones that had a pentaxid tank, and I turned on the shields. And this one I noticed when I turned on the shields, you should see it here in a moment, 134% power. The generator, if I wasn't in creative, generator would start taking damage really quickly here. It would really be freaking me out. So, granted, it's once the shield's done charging, we're good that way. But it would freak me out and this stuff. Oh, well, maybe I'll come back and start flying these vessels around later. But at the moment, I'm enjoying my tour. I am. Okay. I do like the look of this here. A bunch of them so far up to this point, even if they had retractable turrets, the turrets were already out. What I like is their use of this door here, that how they integrated into this little thin block deco there, and really integrates nicely. Let's go here and turrets and weapons. Let's get a little look of their light warship here. What tier is this thing? active tier 3. It's not a whole lot into tier 3. It's about half of the max and stuff. So it is a higher tier. I wonder what its shield is. Just out of curiosity, it's a polarized tier 2 shield. Okay, so yeah, that's just kind of curious what was pushing it up on the tiers there. Okay, I think I'm gonna put the turrets back away, just for the. Wait, what? No, I probably was doing that on the base, not on the vessel. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, I went and turned. I haven't. I didn't bother to put away all the weapons or whatever. There's some sentry guns on the base is what. I didn't mess with it. It looks like what I did is I actually turned them on and stuff. The bases are really actually turned off because at some point I was thinking I would shift the daylight to night. There's no that one over there I think has got the most glowy stuff going on of all these vessels, but there are some of them that they may not have a whole lot of glow going on, but the little bit of glow that is going on looks so good. You know, it's one of those things. It doesn't overpower the vessel, but it looks. It just it gives it that little tiny spark of detail that just looks so good. I think. Okay. Okay. Let's see. We'll turn off our God mode here. I'm like, yeah, that would be an SB come up there and dock in there somehow. I'm gonna. Okay. We don't have an extending ramp. We have a actual physical ramp, 1 block above the ground. So HV at 3 meter hover is going to make that. There shouldn't be any problem to get an HV in there. Okay. This ridge on the back really stood out to me with this. Oop! Fell off the base. Okay. Wandering back to get a better look at it, and I forgot I ran out of base to walk on. Okay. But that stood out to me, you know, the vertical line there really made it stand out. I love their solution then here on the front to allow it to stand nicely when landed. Okay. And a 1G world would be should be no problem to jump up there. Again, since I'm in creative, my jetpack will just take me up there regardless. Okay. There's a walkway up there. Oh, ladder. Ladder. Ha 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 ha. Come on, come on. Yeah. Okay. Okay, I got up the ladder up to here and oh, I'm standing in the elevator. Oh, which vessel am I on? I've been forgetting to do some of these links, haven't I? Tiger Paw was what I thought the Tiger Paw was what I was looking at earlier. Let's mark off. I've done the 2. Come on, where is it? Oh, it's probably under this more button. I looked at those two from Khazul. Then I did the Tiger Paw with the Jupiter Vessel Corp. Now I am on the Sobani. Is that what it was? The Sobani Headhunter Ada. Oh, which is short for Sobani Headhunter Attack Frigate. It got cut off. Character limit. Okay, so Fenra 369 is the creator. Okay. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at right now. And what was I missed? I'll have to go back to the other one. Let's see. Well, I'll finish my tour of this one, and then I will go back to the other one, and I will. Blast door. Ah! I was standing in the blast door. Oh, okay. So you'd have to do a little jump, a jetpack jump, because my just jump here does not do it. So you'd have to do a jetpack up to get into the elevator up here. So a blast door could separate. Ah, interesting. Here's our core stuff. Another offline protection. Yeah. Granted, I suppose where I am is okay. Yes. Danger shield generator should not be turned on while ship is in motion. Can result in generator overload if not adhered to. Okay. Now, whereas the other one, it was doing the red line, and I was not in motion. This is actually giving me a warning. They should not be turned on while ship is in motion. I don't recall when I turned it on seeing stuff red line, so that I think is probably when you're moving the thrust, because the thrusters consume more power when you're in motion, so that makes sense. Okay. Let's see what's through this door. This is our hangar. Okay, we have a place that we can land. Oh, and we have a teleporter. We have a spot over here where we can land our SV. This is stuff. A couple small generators up there. I have to say, bright, glowy. But I wouldn't be the least bit surprised that as you're bringing your SV in, that may, if you're using some sort of exterior view or something, depending on how you're bringing it in, that could. I know I've certainly done glowy bits on some of my things to assist with landing procedures stuff. That would be just my hypothesis and guess, is that somehow this helps them land their guide them themselves through those hangar doors, because open up those hangar doors, you're definitely seeing that, and that's definitely going to give you an outline of the hangar door, especially in space or other places where lighting may be potentially obscured. Although for me that would probably be a little excessive. I would use some sort of lit textures for guidance, but that's probably a bit on the excess where compared to what I would probably do. Oh, now gotta go jump up. Apparently, walking right in, it didn't automatically. I wasn't automatically high enough in the elevator to actually be using the elevator. Okay, we got a luxurious bathroom with shower curtains and more shower curtains. Wait. It's a communal bathroom. The toilets, though, it looks like the toilets are separate. But at least for the showers, it's communal. Ah, interesting. Okay. Kitchen counter. And a medical facility. A CV that I've been working on and off, a project of mine that is still probably quite a ways from making it to the workshop. I actually do use, I want to say, some medical medical stations, you know, the medical devices in the same room to give it a bit more. I thought, you know, like your surgeons or your medical staff may wash their hands there, may stash tools and equipment in the drawers, so I was using some of that. I think I had like one was in the kitchen counter, and another one was using the bathroom vanity type one to because it's somewhat similar by having cupboards down below, cupboards above, just and a sink. Just looks a little different. I was just doing that, so it had a little variety. So yeah, I've certainly. Oh, and this must be the dining area, I'm guessing. Yes. And I'm seeing cargo boxes stashed throughout. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Emergency alarm will activate internal defenses. Interesting. So apparently, this officer quarters get. Oh, he gets the officer's got a glass shower. Got their own little desk and that stuff. Now I'm guessing that they're using the glass doors here for O2 flow. I've certainly used it in plenty of my builds in various locations for O2 flow, even if I really wanted to use some other door. Okay. So these have separate showers. Okay, so this is kind of the opposite. They have separate showers and a communal toilet. Okay. So your private showers. Flashing red. Okay. There's a couple of them. I wonder if there's any elsewhere, but at the moment, I'm just going to turn that off. Okay. And harbor captain's seat. And I've certainly done, I haven't done this with those displays. Oh, that's interesting. That's different. But I've certainly done with these sort of stations. I've done a chair at those, you know, a seat, so that when you sit down, it might look like you're at that council and stuff. Okay, that's kind of cool. Okay. And looks like the elevator pretty much goes up there and stops at the ammo controller. 100, almost 119,000. Okay, I think I already took a peek at that. I already took a peek at the dining room. And this is okay. That was the emergency alarm. Okay. And this is where they had the private toilet, public shower. Okay. Yeah, I realized there was ladders, but at this point, I'm just okay. Okay. This one over here. This one. Let's see, what was this? The Heron Mark 1. Okay. Let's see, and that was okay. That was also from the workshop, and that's by I'm guessing I'm going to butcher this like several others probably doing. Procyon lotor. At least, it makes me, the name Procyon lotor, even if I'm butchering it, just the L-O-T-O-R makes me think of Lotor from Voltron. So it just, yeah. But I do like that. Makes me think of like a large shuttle. Is what it makes me think of. Okay. So let's move on here to the FRK Beta Splendens, parentheses Light Destroyer on the workshop stuff, and that we'll give the okay. So I think this will finish off the ones, well, other than my own, but we'll finish off the ones that I subscribed to from the workshop, just so I could come and take a look at the other plastic. And I keep forgetting to pull up their. Let's see. I'm pretty sure this one's at least tier 3. Those two I want to, if I remember correctly, the enough stuff. It is, this is a tier 3, 1,200,000, almost 300,000. Those were those first two I looked at were pushing pretty close to the 1,500,000. That one was just 750,000, roughly, about half. This is pushing towards the top of the stuff. What was this one? This one, 850,000, so a little over half. Not quite 900,000, so not quite a million. So still plenty of room on that one, but for tier 3. Okay. And let's see. This one here. What was this one again? This one is 1,497,353. So this is also pushing that 1.5 million. Okay. Now I did notice here when I was looking at this one earlier, and so I will remember it at this point probably, is when I was looking at here, it does list some hardened steel blocks. That's hardly anything. I did poke around a little bit. I have no idea where those hardened steel blocks are. I mean, it would be a lovely pain to try to find them. I don't. They hardly count for anything here. Who knows? Maybe they're strategically placed in just the right spot to protect the core or something. I don't know, because I haven't really taken a look at this much. I don't even know where the core is. Granted, with the this type of window block, that might make this the most armored part of the vessel, considering it's steel and carbon composite for the rest. Other than those very limited hardened steel blocks hiding somewhere in this build. I like that. Interesting. Looks like a giant intake, but then it's actually, there's a thruster in there. I think the light might technically block thruster and stuff, even though it doesn't block O2. So I'm guessing if it really was an issue, there's plenty of space to the sides. It can be moved to the side if necessary. But it does. It is lined up nicely to make a nice blue glow effect going on there. Yes. Okay. Beta Splendens. Or Beta Splendens. Not Beta. Beta. Beta would be B-E-T-A. But this has got 2 T, so beta splendens. Beta as in better, or is that what it? Took me a moment to catch on to that. Now I'm guessing that these aren't covering the thrusters, just so they don't have the covered thrusters per the challenge description. Although I think in Empyrion these armored shuttered windows are not considered to block thrusters technically with the game mechanics. But if you're as far as being destructible stuff, the turret, they would block the turret as far as things trying to attack the turret. I mean, not the turret, the thruster. So they, things that are trying to attack the thruster. Did I not press enter after? Oh, I'm just looking over my chat thing here, seeing it's very quiet and that stuff, which I was expecting at this hour, and just not like I have a whole lot of subscribers anyways. A whole lot of, and but I'm like, yeah, I just again doing this for my own pleasure, and just thought I'd share it. Stuff. But yeah, the keeping the thrusters open per the challenge requirement. It just occurred to me that some of these glowy bits would give you a kind of a little bit of a flame effect going on, like if this is a fire or something. It's on fire. So some of the just looking at them, like, oh, some of these glow effects would some of the structures might actually be more about supporting the glow effects and making the glow effects really pop. And I was looking at here, I'm like, okay, something like this, if I think about it a little bit, it you get the glow effect going out here, would be my guess. But instead of doing some sort of solid blocks and stuff, by doing the 2 parallel wall pattern, you get your glow effect coming out here. The 2 next to each other, offset a little bit, will give you some of the strength of the glow you're looking for, without being overpowered like a solid block. But if it was a solid block coming out here, you'd really attach that as the shape of the hull, whereas the 2 wall blocks, yes, it's the I'm looking at it as part of the silhouette of the vessel, but I think conceptually in my mind, I'm almost kind of subtracting that from the vessel and just seeing that as deco and the glowy bits, and not a solid structure and frame of the vessel quite as much as if it was solid blocks. So doing the thin walls, I think it kind of unconsciously loses mass on the vessel, and it's there. It adds texture, it adds shape, it adds glowy bits in this case, but it doesn't really destroy the shape of the vessel. Here, I think in this case, it actually breaks up the shape of the vessel, because I think this actually needed something to break it up, and so I think in this case, it breaks up the vessel without being the shape of the vessel without being too heavy in its application. Interesting. Get some tiered effects and staggering of the weapons about. Okay. Looks like if I was down on the ground here, look, that looks like it's only a 1 block gap. So an HV is going to be able to, again, hover at 3 meters, or considering you're trying to clear. Well, if the turret was not extended, you'd have a little more clearance to get your HV under here, and then try to get back up, get up into there. So. Technically, these are exposed thrusters, but if you had the game mechanic on for not blocking thrusters, this would be considered blocking thrusters. So, and for game mechanic wise, these thrusters are blocked. Not necessarily all of them. Let's see, that one's not, but it looks like all the rest are. But as far as combat-wise, if someone were fighting this vessel, no, they're definitely exposed. Stuff. Well, that is nice. I like that. Oh, there's access door? It's a spotlight. Oh, the spotlight's covered. That's different. So that, I'm guessing that's probably a matching spotlight. What's this out on the edge? And I'm guessing this probably... Oh. Out in space, this would probably be an alternate entrance. On a bigger vessel, if you're going for a spacewalk, having alternate entrances are nice. Okay, I'm going to enter this one just a bit. I have a feeling that it actually connects with the rest of the vessel. Okay.
Hello.
Hello, Jenny Lynn.
I love you, Dad.
I love you too.
I'm gonna go get some water. Sorry for intruding on your recording.
Oh, no problem. Okay. Roasty toasty here. Oh, roasty toasty. Yeah, roasty toasty. But I didn't I used the... I did not use the primary entrance. Oh, that's interesting. I'm gonna do God mode here for a moment. Yeah, I knew. I'm like, when I saw the texture here on the outside, I'm like, knowing the way the thrusters handle texture, you hit one spot of the thruster with the texture, the whole thruster's got that texture. So I'm like, I just had to go take a peek on the outside. Oh, this is service spot for the spotlight. I think this is the back of the spotlight. Okay, this is I like the idea. But planet side, this is a in space it'd probably be no problem. I just turn my character a little bit and get through there. But in planet side, that was an issue. I love the concept though. I love the concept. Oh, but planet side it would make it. No, you can. Oh, you can go. You can. Oh, no. I got through it. You just have to go to the side. You have to go to the side a bit. I see. You can get through. I I was just doing it wrong. Mess hall. Some tables to eat at. And then like an actual kitchen. Oh my gosh. Like walking into a kitchen. A nice fancy, oh, look at that up there. Oh my. Whoa. Oh my gosh. That is, there, that is some awesome LCD art. Oh my gosh. Oh, mystery meat surprise. 5 flanks of mystery meat, 3 cobra leaves, 2 ounces of water, 4 cups artificial flavor number 31, 2 cups texture protein, mixed thoroughly. Port engine axis, port reactor, extreme hazard environment, shut down engines to access. Yeah, I'd recommend that. That was that roasty toasty area. I don't have the engines shut down. Oh yeah. Okay. Medical bay. Nice little desk. Yeah. Nice, quaint little office. Crew reminder. Wait a minute. Hold on. Oh, there's some signal logic going on in here. Some motion sensors to conserve power, probably. I wasn't paying attention to it, but I caught it, that one, coming in out of the medical area. Crew reminder, vaccinations requires, I think the, would be vaccinations required before touchdown and Ninggues. Fresh pizza now available in the cafeteria, 2 slices per person. Crew, update your will ASAP. Oh. That's great. Okay. I finally made it, wandering through. I made it to the hangar. I'm pretty sure that I said, other than some clearance on that turret there, you probably can get an HV in here easily enough. Okay. Armory. Deck 1, hangar entrance armory. Deck 2, bridge, workshop, mess hall, workshop, engine rooms. Deck 3, crew quarters, life support. Okay. A whole bunch of cargo storage. That's the stuff. A ventilator back there, yeah. Oh, cool. Access container controller, cargo boxes, armor locker. Ventilator only on the one side, looks like, and yeah. Oh, this one actually has some RCS to it. Okay. Oh, and this is ammo controller. 96,000. Okay, so I started over, I want to say, was it that side I started over with? Oh, something's lit up here. I caught it as it's coming in. Again, the same thing about the critical hardware booth. Or berth. Critical hardware berth. Oh, yeah, a emergency chemical shower. Yeah. Caution, enter Hazardous environment. Wear protective equipment. Mm-hmm. Oh, they actually have a, they're using a ladder at the side of the, oh my. You know, granted, technically I'm getting irradiated here, but yeah. Oh, oh, nice. Interesting. Very different. Pentaxa tank. That's the stuff. And we are accessed into the, so looks like our third level, or one of our, well, I think it's probably the third level. I haven't been up there yet. Ties into this. Okay. Okay. And this, the opposite of the other one, and it's, if you go towards the side, we get access, I'm guessing spotlight again. We have our glass shower. That stuff, yeah, it's, and here's our exit airlock out there. Okay. Let's see, is it to the side of it? Container controller. And this says bridge. Target acquisition system online, passive scan, transporter offline. Weapon status. Ship status report. Oh, auxiliary water pump failure, check number 2. Septic training scheduled. Hull section 432H requires priority repainting. Light bulb reports outage. My gosh. Departure frac Corp Aqua HQ 2200. Interesting, nice. And this looks kind of like a conference room of sorts, or a security office. Overlooking the oh, those extending ramps. Extend the ramp and come over to the, oh, so I'm thinking you could get up there, and instead of having to walk through all the vessel like I did, you could extend the ramp and get up here onto this, which would take you to the bridge. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Now, this workshop. I hear door. I'm not hearing a door. Life support systems, computer mainframe. There's a motion sensor activating. Okay. Part of me is inclined to look for switches. I don't see any custom switches set up here. Are those indicators with other switches that are throughout the vessel? Oh, that's what I'm hearing. This one right here, the bathroom. Oh, there's more than one bathroom. Girl plots. Yeah, and I remember that was connected. I had, oh, okay, these would be, and double door, like a airlock sort of situation. Okay, okay. Oh, about that, Kevin, did you end up deleting your old file? Or did you recover your missing base? I have not deleted that game yet. I'm not sure what I'm doing with it. Part of me is inclined to just keep playing that game but move to another world. I got, yeah, 1/4 of the base is still missing, and it was kind of interesting. I exiting the game, coming back in, part of the base was restored, but not the full base. That was kind of, I'm like, okay. At that point, I'm like, I don't think I'm getting the last bit of my base back, and I had to, I was like, what? Do I really start the game over? If I do start the game over, there would be a certain temptation to join the Anvil. They're doing a Reforged server, so it would be temptation to join that. And I know they've closed the kind of their open enrollment per se on that server, but I think I might have got my ID on the list in time, my Steam ID number, so it might be conceivable that I could join that server, or maybe not. I don't know. I haven't tried it this time, but if I do start my Reforged game, the stuff, that maybe. Have they fixed the issue with these things blocking line of sight, these partial blocks? Because that's the first thing that hits my mind. I'm like, visually, no, it doesn't block line of sight. And I know there have been people that have complained many times in many versions that these about these partial blocks blocking line of sight on turrets when they, like in this case, the thin wall blocks, they clearly are below the line of fire for the turret, but yet turrets would behave as if it was a full block and block line of sight accordingly. But I haven't been following the change notes, whether that's been fixed or not, because that could be a concern with some of those turrets. Okay. Wait, did I miss a link on? Because I'm like going. Wait, no, I already started over there. The next, so the next vessels to go to are those two over there, which are both incomplete works. The one was actually posted. Both actually, you can find the EPB files on the thread in, and so maybe I'll, as I'm mentioning that again, I will again go to the thread for the challenge, the stuff that you can find both there. However, I want to say that, and again, this here is in the link in the thread here for the Discord stuff. If this link works right, so the one actually, all they did is they posted pictures of their work in progress. So I actually that first link I posted at the top where it was a mistake when I first started this stuff. That was me reaching out to the player who created that. Let's see, and let's see I'm not sure if that's supposed to be Pepex or some other pronunciation. The stuff. But they had posted some pictures on, and it looked, even at that very early stage, it looked like there was some interesting stuff going on with the shape with their vessel. And so I reached out to them and asked if I could have the EPB, saying that I was going to do a walkthrough, a tour of these vessels, and if I could, by chance, if they'd be so kind to let me include that vessel in my little tour here. So they were so kind, and the other one here, they included their EPB file. Now, hopefully, it's when XPEX finishes this one over here, maybe they'll give it. I don't. Right now, it's named Scout. I don't know if that's what they want their name to be on that, or if they're going to do stuff. But hopefully, at some point, maybe they will post a link to their to the finished product and stuff. But at the moment, this is. I think being able to look at it here, we'll be able to see some of the interior. I want to say that this is this looks to me like it's more finished than what was on the workshop or on the forums. The pictures they, not the workshop, the forum, the pictures they posted. It looks more finished compared to those pictures. So we'll get to see this, see what it looks, see what it looks like. You get a tour of the incomplete work in progress. Yeah. And I got to take a look at some of that. Now this one here, we'll start with this one. This one is also listed. They listed this? They attached the EPB and listed as unfinished work in progress. This stuff. It looks. They mentioned that it's mostly at this point just LCD work that needs to be done, and I think you're doing the tour and stuff. I don't know what their LCD work will, their final LCD work will do to this vessel, but having walked through it, it's definitely, looks like it's nearly done. It just, I don't know, what they envision for the LCD and signal work. They have a bit different hanger here than the other ones. The stuff they're using are blast doors here, up above and below. It kind of makes it a. Let's see. If we go back far enough, it'll close. Different hanger. Now, for me, what's interesting with this vessel here is we have a, a mix of symmetry and asymmetry, and for me, it's the little bits of asymmetry they got on in there. Just it adds such a beautiful details. For example, we have these two different fronts to these what would otherwise potentially be very symmetrical design to the ship, but yet they're very different fronts here. This stuff, quite the impact and stuff. And I like their use of these deco blocks. Really nice. I like that. This up here, I know it's daylight right now, and but this is part of what's inspired me that I want to do as I keep going on with this drag-on video. But I'm just enjoying myself looking at these things. That little detail when at night, it just it's not major glowies on this thing, but just the little things. What a difference they make. This here, I've already been looking at this vessel before. This stuff. I've actually both of these unfinished vessels. I've looked at them already a little bit. That's not to say that I've found everything, seen everything, done everything with them, but this here, this is a nice glowy bit that at night the vessel, it's actually a spotlight behind there, so they're actually taking it. I know people have talked about fixing the fact that the light bleeds through blocks, but yet in this case, the way the spotlight's bleeding through the block, it makes it look like this glow on the front of the vessel is the actual spotlight instead of the spotlight itself that's behind it, and I think it looks really cool. And so there things like this, these little moments like this. I'm like, oh, please don't fix the lighting so that it's stopped by blocks. Yes, there are times that it's unrealistic and that sort of stuff, but there are those times, that little moments where someone uses it to achieve something. Just, oh my gosh, so beautiful. Please don't wreck it. Looks like this thing's running out of fuel. I wonder. It's got 6 fuel tanks. Maybe I forgot to fill it up. Distinct possibility. I might have forgot to fill it up. It's entirely possible that maybe I thought I was filling it up, but I was actually filling up oh, hold on, let's point down at the base. No, it's not. It's not filled up. I don't know. But it's still a distinct possibility that I might have thought I was filling it up, but didn't. Oh, I like the use of these wall blocks around there. Oh, and the base happens to be pretty close to the ground. I fell off the base. One of the things that stood out to me, I've wandered around this already, but I really like their use of these blocks here for mounting the turret. For me, it looks. I had never thought of that, and I think it looks really nice. Now there's a little bit of the turret that dangles out here in front and back, but for the most part, I like that turret. The way that extends out there, it almost makes it fitting that these parts dangle out there a bit. So it just, I'm like, oh, I think that looks nice. I'd never thought of that, but oh my gosh, it does work. I also noticed these wall blocks here and stuff. It almost makes me think of like perhaps a spot that could be sealed up and enclosed above these thrusters. Just visually, the use of these blocks here, I'm like, oh, that's creative and nice, and I like it. Not necessarily that I would ever think of that sort of stuff, and I'm not sure that opportunity will present itself for me to try something like that. But who knows? Maybe sometime I will incorporate that into one of my vessels somewhere. Now that I've seen it and admired it, or maybe I'll just totally forget that I've seen it and admired it. Stuff. We have here looks like in the front a pad for an SV, and we have our blast doors, followed right behind by a actual airtight door. It's one of the things that some of the vessels I've been looking at here, if the blast doors were airtight, they'd have to do some other alternative way for airflow. But the fact that the blast doors aren't necessarily airtight does also provide opportunities, or it does baffle me that here they are, they're massive blast doors and they're not airtight. Okay. And then we have this window is asymmetrical on the stuff, so the front end is asymmetrical, that window, and it's just a small little things. Some things are quite very much symmetrical, and then you have little details like this here that is not. Turret on that side and the radar dish on this side. Turret on this side, and then a very interesting piece of deco over here. And this is their imagination. They're using standard blocks and shapes and creating something. It's like, I don't know what that's supposed to be. That's what they imagine it as, but it still looks really cool. I really like it. It adds texture and flavor. And a window back here. Okay. I'm gonna turn off God mode. I am curious if there's another entrance. I know there's that ramp there, but just out of curiosity, can I just randomly spot wandering around another entrance, or is that the entrance? I mean, I did find those SV those entrances by the SV parking. Oh, nice, I like that. Okay. And I'm guessing the force field is... Oh, it's sideways. Sideways. That's the force field emitter. There's some up there. So apparently that's some 1x2s to fill in the gap on this 3x5. Yeah, okay, I see. I'm getting with it. Interesting. Interesting indeed. Symmetry and asymmetry. Oh my god. A nice blend of it. So beautiful. Okay. Got a nice roasty toasty room, but I think you might Might heed the caution, maybe. And I think that's just the mirror. Yes. Corridor. Looks like this medical room has a couple actual patient beds. Interesting. Oh, I like that. I'm guessing if the one side had a corridor, I'm guessing that this is a matching corridor on the other side. Okay. Our core, warp drive, gravity generator. Some miscellaneous storage. Here's our cockpit. Whoa, that's right, I remember this. I forgot about it, but I remember it. In space, this would be an interesting entrance. In gravity, I think that is 1, 2. 3 blocks up. Might be possible in 1G. Maybe, but I don't. But this is the vessel where I really felt that I really needed to be walking around on them, not using the jump jet or the God mode, so that I'd actually verify that I could walk in and out of this space, because that is not flat. So these are thin angled blocks. And I know that I caught a little bit when I was looking at this earlier. I caught the construction reason why, although I've kind of forgotten at the moment. Oh, that's interesting, doing those from the ceiling. I like that. I like this. Interesting. That is some very interesting effects going on there. Oh yeah, I like that. You look at some of these details, I'm like, oh, so beautiful. Okay, I think I walked the other hallway. I walked past through the cockpit area. I walked through stuff. I felt like there was something. Okay, that door is out. I'm not sure. I might be missing something, but. Yes, I would have to. Even though I didn't catch that message right away, yeah, I'd have to say the real good use of block shapes. I could probably just keep walking around here in awe, admiring, just even walking the same path I have and walking around this thing, and I'd probably continue to be like, okay. I forgot why I'm walking around, but I'm just oogling and drooling over it. It's a beautiful work. Okay. And we're going to go to God mode, and so, and the thing is, on the link and the stuff when they listed it, and if I go here, this is the ZeroG Challenge October. In other words, I don't think it's got an official name yet. This one is by Caelestis-B stuff. The one I've been oogling and just admiring stuff. And as I said, they reported that it was pretty much mostly LCD work that's left to be done. And knowing from some of my experience, LCD work can be, depending on what your goals and objective is, can be quite the challenge and time consuming itself. Okay. Here we are going to look at the Scout. This is the by XPeppyX, the one I said I had contacted them and asked for permission if I could go look at it. I like the line up here. I really like the line up here. So part of me is like, I'm looking at this hangar door, and like the other one, I'm like, it's that 4 meter, you know, the HVs max hover 3 meters. Yeah, you can get a bit of booster on them, a hover booster, and you can get a jump, that stuff. But I'm looking at it, I'm like, I like the shape and the line up here. I really like that. But yet, part of me is going, but I need a ramp for my HV to get up there. Not many of my HVs have boosters lately. I haven't done that in a while, so I'm like, oh, how am I don't want them to change the line, but I need a ramp. The conundrum. Granted, parking an SV in there wouldn't be that wouldn't be an issue. You wouldn't need a ramp for that. But for when I'm looking at my HVs, I'm like, oh, they need a ramp. It's too tall. Okay. Now this is a work in progress. So as far as being a combat vessel, I just for some reason I imagine retractable turrets on this thing, but I'm not sure what they'll eventually do on this work in progress. But it just you know, let me go up here a little bit, try to give you a view of some of the pictures we saw on the workshop. As I said, I think this is more complete than the pictures were. They you know, I want to say it was just gray, and some of the stuff, there was placeholders for some of the things that are now fleshed out a little bit more, and you know, I can easily see turrets here and here, back here on these. You know, maybe a couple of retractable turrets on each side over there and here, there. You know, some of it I'm looking at and I'm thinking of my nephew, that I've some of his works. That I'm just like, I look at that, I'm like, oh, I can see, you know, plenty of where the turrets might be on here. Okay. I like the symmetry that the shapes that go on having the symmetry here, but I almost am like, you really only need one ventilator in this space up here. So I'm like, maybe you as a work in progress, just my little thought here is that, you take one of them of your choice and replace it with a block of that shape. And so you just have one ventilator up here consuming power, providing O2. Basically, once either one of these ventilators is destroyed, it's probably being destroyed from the outside, which means this area is breach. The other ventilator is not going to provide oxygen for this area at that point anyways. So one ventilator is probably adequate. Having seen this vessel, I mean, I really like the approach and the warp core being right there. I mean, it looks really cool. It's just the unfortunate thing is, let's oh yeah, I probably pressed. Wait, what happened to my? Oh, because I'm looking in the wrong part of my screen. Not the bottom right, the upper right. There, up there, I can see that we're getting a little irradiated here. We're in creative, so it's not not a deal here, deal breaker in creative, but in survival, I don't think it's going to be a real deal breaker here either. You'll just have to go hit the showers, and this stuff. So I was like, oh, we're technically really close to hazardous hazard, but it just looks so cool. It just it feels like it belongs there. Okay. Granted, we're sufficient distance from the fuel tanks, the stuff that is, and I don't I think, oh, I love this piping. I love this piping. Oh. And maybe that's part of why I think the generator belongs here. Just this piping and that stuff. It just looks great, and it just belongs. It's just the right. It just feels like the right thing. Now I do wish there was something. It doesn't have to be very thick. Just maybe something thin. I'm not sure what you would do here. Just a thin extension on the wall. But I would almost like to have some sort of steel or carbon composite, something, 2 blocks high between these two fuel tanks. The reason, when I get to my vessel, you'll really see I use a lot of this. But it goes in there. I know at some point they may fix explosions so that they, a partial block doesn't block it, just like O2 can flow through partial spaces. But at least the last time I tried blowing something up, even partial block, it had an effect on explosions. And so it may be, I'm not going to just go test it right now, but it's a possibility that putting some sort of partial blocks in there between those two fuel tanks may mean that if one goes up, it destroys the partial blocks, but the other fuel tanks remains intact until another rockets or laser blasts or whatever hits your vessel and takes out the next fuel tank. But it might buy you a couple seconds. Depending on how things are going, might be enough to turn your vessel and save you from the catastrophic loss of fuel. I really like the wood floor here. I mean, I love it. I did notice this bump here, and that's we have a little medical station. Looks like a little medic station to me. Beautiful open dining space. It looks like. But when I saw the bump there, I didn't. Even though I'd walked in here, I didn't quite catch the shield generator sort of stuff. And then saw that bump. I'm like, what's that bump? I came down here. I'm like, oh, the shield generator. I'm looking at here, the space down here. I'm like, oh, there's plenty of space. At least I think. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think there's probably, if not, plenty of space back here. Stuff. but I'm not sure what they're going to intend to do with that. Um, I'm guessing that they're prepared for this area down here to be more hazardous materials. Maybe it's going to be storage. If we look at here, the Scout, we don't have our ammo containers yet, so I know some ammo, some other storage. I really don't know what that space is going to be quite. I can make guesses, but right now, stuff. But I did like this open dining here. It's interesting to see this the use of the wood. Again, looks like area is still open and available for the development. I'm like, I'm not really sure what this door is for. Space entrance, Someone goes for this little spacewalk. It's a convenient way to get in instead of having to go all the way to the other end of the vessel. That'd be my best guess if we're doing a spacewalk. And then we have our command center. I almost wish there was little chairs right here. Little chairs as a passenger. As a passenger sitting on a chair here, I wouldn't be able to control the vessel, and but it would look like I could pretend and feel like I'm some sort of ensign or something like that. Being fulfilling my duties. Maybe take control of a turret and feel like I've got the controls right there. Even though once you can take control of the turret, you'll be seeing things from the turret's point of view. But the feel like that maybe I was actually really looking at stuff right there on that console instead of to the turret itself. But yeah, I do like this. I do like this very much. As I said, it feels like that really belongs there to me. It just unfortunately means that entering the vessel, you do get a little slight bake, radiation and heat. But all you'd have to do for the radiation is just hit the showers. You should be fine. I forgot to check to make sure there was a shower in here. But if they watch this either here on Twitch or YouTube, they maybe they'll make sure that they have a shower. Okay. So I do appreciate them letting me see this, the EPB. Let me download that and look at that. That was really it's a really nice vessel. Yeah, it's a work in progress. It's not done yet, but it looks like it's got quite the potential there. This, my last stop. Granted, part of me wants to fly all of these things. I wanted to do my walkthrough. I wanted to fly them. There's so much I want to do. Combat is not one of the things I'm going to worry about doing at this time with them. It's one of those things, especially with like that work in progress there. If I was going to play with that, I would, I'd just throw some prototype turrets on there. I wouldn't even know. Be like, I have no idea how it's supposed to be armed in the end. It could be, way stronger than I do. I can imagine it could be less. I don't know. But if I had the skills, I would build a custom scenario where you could fly the vessels against perhaps first starting off with a single drone. It's kind of those things. Go with something where the odds are in almost everybody's favor. There's a light engagement. Unless there's no weapons on their vessel whatsoever, there's a good chance they could take it on and have a win. And then from there go against increasing challenges until my lack of skill would reveal where I couldn't take a vessel any further. Stuff. But I don't have the skills to build such a scenario right now. Oh yes. My double door here, they don't have an exact match for those slanted 3x3 shuttered ramps, but yet that's the shape I wanted for the door. They're also not airtight, so that's actually yet what's fun is they're not airtight, so to have something airtight you have to have a force field beyond on the other side of them. However, the blocks that are required you use to build the force fields, even though they have a low unlock level, they require exotic materials. So if I actually did, in this case, do shutter doors behind them, I got the force fields without having to use exotic materials, which is fit the stuff. Mine among these vessels, I'm not sure what the unlock, what the tier. I forgot to just, but most of these are tier 3 vessels. You know, this stuff. The some of them are closer to, are only 750,000 CPU points, so they're very low end tier 3. This actually happens to be a tier 2. It is also plastic, not so much the steel. It's using a tier 1 shield. It is upgradable to a tier 2 if you do the tier 3 upgrade on this stuff. In other words, this thing is built to be upgraded to tier 3. It is a tier 2 vessel to help bring its cost down. A lot of this thing is plastic because I wanted to keep the weight of the vessel down. Two, and in vanilla, the plastic also for the CPU costs. So I could maximize thrusters, spend the CPU. Granted, the other things add up really fast, so the steel would have been probably insignificant compared to, but it's mostly that weight. This, if I wanted to be mean to the other vessels, and even without combat, I probably could have rigged up a survival game, switch between survival and God mode, and be like, see, my vessel is built to run in high gravity. That is part of the but that does mean that this thing has some gains and losses. It's not, that's part of the reason why it's plastic. To minimize its weight, so that the thrust here could be devoted to kilotons of cargo mass. That stuff. And yes, it's got very limited cargo stuff. This thing, it's the left container and the right container only have 200,000 units of storage each. This is intentional on my part, so that the player is somewhat restricted on how much cargo they can fit in this thing, so that it will ideally still function. I would say your standard loot, your standard haul, that stuff, if you're not trying to max out the weight in those containers, this thing's probably going to handle 4G or greater, no problem. It is the numbers I used to build it. If we go up to those at the front, I have I think it's a projection, not an actual LCD. I have a projection here. Thank you for choosing the Turkey capital vessel for your transport needs. This vessel is rated to lift a filled cargo hold in 2.0 gravity. We set our standard a bit high, and you may find that this vessel can fly in some gravity conditions higher than rated. As I said, based on what the numbers I've been using and the stuff, on a practical, typical filled cargo hold, it's probably going to be 4G or greater. I actually used I have the math I didn't go as extreme as the steel or hardened steel or combat steel blocks stuff. I went with refined sathium. So if you were going out and collecting materials and were refining your materials to take less space, this could hold the cargo holds filled with refined sathium in 2.0 gravity. Granted, your raw ores are lighter, so in that case, this thing, if you're just mining the ores, not processing them, 4.0 gravity, no problem or better. Granted, this does not come with a constructor. I actually have here a list of, here's upgrades, tier 3 CPU upgrade, stuff. Stuff. And so I do talk about a constructor upgrade, and that actually, to fit it, you'd have to remove these two LCDs, and it goes in this spot right here. Or your choice of it. But, as it says, CPU upgrade required before completing any of the options below. So this is pushing the limits of tier 2 without getting to any of these upgrades. And there's actually several of these upgrades that says complete generator upgrade. I refer to a generator upgrade because the stuff. Notice here, someone else, I noticed that they were using my workshop page actually for this says that the code is 4321 in case you happen to, if someone has flipped this on and stuff. Granted, someone can change it. They'd have to come in here and change this one if they were going to, put the code in there, stuff. Granted, you can change the code on the doors, stuff. That actually, the doors are actually marked in many respects, stuff. If I realized that, oh wait, here's something else. Long before I did that, I started playing with on some of my stuff here. The hangar doors, right now they are automatic. As I walked up to them, they opened and stuff. I can actually turn off automatic, control them from here, and notice door open. So I haven't noticed this. If it said door open, I could come here and I could do the automatic, turn that off. Automatic actually overrides the manual. Please stop the ship to exit. Hold on. There we go. I'm not sure what was going on there. When it is on manual, there's actually switches down in the hangar that someone can do stuff. We have, mine's not as fancy. I don't have the shower or let's see, the shower or toilet right here in the bedrooms. I have one daughter that loves pink. I have one daughter that loves purple. So in memory of them, honor of them, I have a pink bunk and a purple bunk. And yes, I have a daughter that likes her favorite color is actually teal, and I probably could have tried to work up a bed that was teal, but in this case, I think she would be just as happy with blue and stuff. So there is my my shower and my toilet. Some grow plots. I have my hanger. This CV actually is based off of my very first CV. Well, I wouldn't say it was my very first CV, but one of my very early CVs stuff. And I'd say the first one I really got fell in love with of my own designs was the turkey. And so hence this is the turkey CV. The original was actually we didn't have combat steel yet, I don't think. Or did we? I know we didn't have combat steel on HVs. And I know we might have, it was Alpha 6 when I built it. So if if someone knows whether the combat still existed yet in Alpha 6 or not. But I know it wasn't combat steel because I actually have that blueprint essentially still around, and it was a hardened steel. It essentially, the turrets are pretty much the same arrangement on this. There has been some, the vessel has grown just a little bit. I've made some changes with this one to make it lighter, so I can maximize the cargo for high gravity. Back when I first started building these things, I didn't really build for high gravity worlds or anything like that, and stuff. I also, the engine room was a very much. These doors here, it says authorized personnel only, the stuff, and notice that as I approach the door, that authorized personnel actually is triggered off the door. The door, I'm using the signal from the door to control that. We actually have another one here. I have a cockpit buried in the. So this one actually has two cockpits. The one at the front, and there is a method to my madness here. This I find makes it a lot easier for me to do my landings with the view down below on the stuff. To do my landing approaches, that one would be more, I guess, kind of your combat cockpit. The vessel can start getting torn up without you being thrown from the cockpit. We have our unlocked. Well, I'm not a master of unlocking, so I haven't gone and done that 000 or whatever it is that makes sure they stay public. So the person would still have to be part of your faction, but at least those doors wouldn't. That door's not locked. This one, is authorized personnel only. Flip that switch. You'd have to put the code. So to get through that door, you get up here into the medical area. That's part of the bridge, the full medical suite. That other one up above has a partial suite. Take care of some common issues. Let's see, our dining area. What have I missed? Oh, the which you may. A lot of these aren't glass doors. Yes, the elevator is open and shares its O2 from here. But you might notice that a lot of these are not open doors. A lot of these actually are divided O2 section. It wasn't the previous Turkey. Oh, for your information, the story on the Turkey, I think I got attached to the Turkey initially because this area up here, this bar is symbolic of the is to represent how this used to be. There used to be a 2-block tall bar that came out here, so the door would have been up a little bit higher, and there would have been ramps that could have gone down to each side. Or no, it was down here. You came out just a little bit here. You had ramps down to each side, and then the bar quickly went up a slow ramp and stuff, and then was 2 blocks thick. And the idea being you would dock my HVs to the outside of that bar stuff. This drops the bar and turns it actually to an actual hangar in here. But this front end gives me the is kind of a memento of that original bar, of the wattle of the Turkey capital vessel and stuff. How I used to dock the HVs on there stuff. And yeah, I used it a lot because it was convenient for transporting, but it was actually designed so that you third one down here, repeat it again, 1, 2, 3. So we have 6 on the other side, 12 turrets. So all 12 atmospheric turrets whether they be the cannons or the minigun turrets. They could all be mounted on this vessel. Then I had points for additional turrets as well. But the initial one, I would put all 12 turrets around those side pods, and I think I really got attached to it because I could actually take out planetary patrol vessels with it, because I had 12 atmospheric turrets. So it had a lot of the decent firepower for for relatively inexpensive vessel, but also the back then, and I know there are still some POIs. There's still plenty of POIs. You can still destroy the blocks, but back then in Alpha 6, other than the trade stations, I don't think there was much as POIs that really used the admin core. And now the story for with the turkey, where I really fell in love with it. At first-person shooters, I'm not very good. As far as I know, I'm not very good at all. There are people who are probably worse than me and probably would disagree with me. But everything's relative. And in my case, generally speaking, I don't think I'm very good at first-person shooters. Now, maybe with time and experience, maybe I'll get better or whatever. But I went against a drone base. I was getting slaughtered and slaughtered and slaughtered. And so I went back, grabbed my turkey capital vessel, dropped off my mining HV and other things so they wouldn't get shot at. As I said, it wasn't an actual hangar at that time. It was an open wattle that I would dock them onto. So I left them behind, brought my turkey up, and back then, in addition to there not being the admin cores used as prevalently on POIs, the turrets would actually target, and sometimes going against a POI was frustrating. If I was, with my HV combat tank, that there would be some turret on the POI. They'd be shooting at my HV, but there was some trooper or something wandering through a hallway that was actually closer to me inside the stuff, and so my thing was, would be tracking it, trying to shoot and blast out blocks, and if they're moving, some blocks take a little bit of damage, they move a little bit, the next bit of blocks take some damage, and I didn't actually get holes through right. Well, since back then they would actually, when they were targeting the NPC, the alien faction, they actually would target them through the blocks of a POI. So I brought the turkey over there. I was like, I am getting my butt whooped, man, really bad here. I just brought the turkey up and I let it. Yes, it destroyed a lot of loot, that stuff, but it turned that drone base into Swiss cheese. There was just holes all through it. I pretty much at the end there, almost pretty much walked through the drone base. As I said, it was pretty wrecked, but there wasn't hardly any aliens in the drone base to oppose me anymore at that point. The turkey had just made a wreck of it. There was a few spots that it was almost a question whether I'd even be able to get to them, just simply because the turkey had blown out so many elevator blocks or other things in the process of destroying, killing those aliens. So, yeah, it is. And just to show you that I don't think I messed up too bad. I've been walking through that door all this time, And now that I actually turn that on, now I have to put 4, 3, 2, 1. Of course, now it remembers the code since I put it in. There we go. Okay, so tour the turkey, and then, as I said, this one, this is my own creation. I know a little of the story behind this one. And it is built for high gravity. I did intentionally tone down its performance a bit. Let's go God mode up here to the, and then we'll turn off God mode for a bit. So in the control panel here, statistics, I did tune these things down a bit because the turkey is it is really built for higher gravity, so I wasn't looking for something that could do fantastic, zippy barrel rolls or turn on a dime or something like that. This is so I did use those slider bars to tone down the performance of the turkey a little bit to handle more how I'd like. Granted, I realize with a full load, with mass and volume turned on, high gravity world, I'm probably going to start feeling a bit sluggish. Oops. Stuff. But for me, that if it had a full cargo hold, that probably is appropriate that it should feel a little bit sluggish. Okay. And let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and click off the maneuver. I don't remember if I actually have. I don't have any RCS left on that. That's just a maneuver group is back from when we really relied on RCS. It's just a habit from that. But I kind of kept the habit because it does mean some of my vessels, like HVs, that typically rely on a few RCS or something like that. It means when I do shut off the maneuver group, I try to have everything grouped in there. So that means that I'm even shutting off the RCS at that time. Yes. Oh, the antennas, the deco on the stuff. I just want another little story here. The turkey pre-CPU, I'd done. The turkey used to be my starting CV. This is part of the reason why it is a tier 2 CV. So it doesn't require any the bridges or matrices or whatever it is stuff. So it does not require that advanced stuff for stuff. So, allowing it to still function potentially if I want to make this. Granted, I'm still have to find the neodymium and some of the titanium stuff that it's required to build these thrusters and stuff on this vessel. But at least as far as getting the those advanced CPU cores, the stuff, or extenders, it doesn't. It just needs the tier 2 one, which shouldn't be too much of a problem. It should be fairly a lot easier to pull off. But yeah, it was built as my starter CV, and so I had. It's gone through several iterations, but at one point prior to Alpha 11, I believe that's when CPU was released. I've called a bunch of my CPU vessels just before CPU. If I were to go here and pull up the turkey, no, that's not workshop ones. We want my builds. Turkey, the a lot of my stuff that is pre-CPU, just before the CPU was officially released, is the 10.5. The Turkey C45 here was essentially the 10. This Turkey 10.5. It was the upgraded version, so it had the full weapon loadout and stuff. Well, I wanted to give it a slightly different shadow, just some sort of detail that I could tell if I had originally, did I bring it in as the the standard Turkey and then upgrade it, or did I bring it in fully upgraded? So just to give it something a little different. And so I had stuck these those antenna on it, and I looked at it, and I'm like, okay, they belong. That's the Turkey. So when I did this version here, working out, I was like, okay, I'm putting that on there. It's sticking. It's going to be it's just part of the Turkey now. It's just the way the Turkey is going to be. Also, I just wanted to give a shout out a couple people on the Discord. Originally, I had a thinner and straight bar with no gaps in it and stuff. Right down here, it would have been right at the top of these ramps, just below partly because there's actually a little gap here, and but it was when I had it flush against the gray, a bunch of it was disappearing, and it just looked really awful. So I had moved it down just the top of these ramps, where the ramps start going backwards. I mean, they immediately go back and stuff. So that the LCD was then suspended a little bit, but it was a thin, solid line. Something didn't feel right about it. I actually went to the Discord, asked for a little bit of feedback. Couple individuals I'd have to go look at the thread, and I don't know, can't think of their names right off the top of my head. But I really appreciated the feedback they gave me, because that was then inspiration for me to then just go ahead and move it up. But when it was looking horrible, I moved it away from the hull just a little bit. And as at that, I'm like, at that point, it's clearly an LCD projection, not some sort of gimmick trying to make like there was something going on there, glowy bits that's not standard. So I'm like, okay, I moved it out, did that, and I'm like, well, then I'm just going to put the name of the vessel in there, and just totally embrace it as an LCD projection. So, okay, now that I've done this, I'm going to do my switch it to night. Okay. Oh, let's see. It's 12 something. Okay, so if the cycle is about 12 minutes something, if we do here somewhere around the 6:30 mark. Okay. We get some of this glowy stuff on the Turkey is actually homage to prior builds of the Turkey, prior versions. This is actually less glowy than, although this probably here, this little bracket doing around the door, the hangar door, probably a little bit more glowy than it used to be. But the rest of the vessel, I'd say, is less glow going on than the Turkey originally had. Yes, the vessel, the lighting on the vessel is on motion sensor, and then that includes the interior stuff. That's a work in progress. Now this work in progress over here, this is one of the ones that really stood out to me. Yes, that's got a lot of glowy going on, but these little bits, just a dash of glowy right there, just almost like in just the right spot, little dash right there, a little dash. I mean, oh my gosh, just a little dash right there, a little dash right there. Oh, and as I was saying, the spotlights going through there just makes it look like that's the spotlight. I mean, it just, oh my gosh, that was so awesome. That was a cool effect. But this little dash, a little dash of glowy right there, a little dash there, a little dash there. I mean, just that little dash right there. Just little bits here and there. Just, and yes, that is a deco, that is a glowy bit. So, but just those little dashes right there, and just add just a little touch. They're glowy bits, but they seem to just go just like that little mix, that little bit. I mean, think about it. That block, knowing what that texture is back behind there, that whole block is technically a very glowy block, but I'm only seeing a small portion of it through this window of the block above it. And so you get a little dash there, little dash there. This, yeah, that's a bit more glowy going on, but it seems fitting for whatever that's supposed to be. You know, little bits there and there. Okay, this one here, lots of glowy bits going on. As I said, stuff. It looked to me, as I was looking at it, the realization that might be intentional to try to create some sort of a flame effect. Really go on, like flames coming off the back of this thing. So I'm not sure if that was what they were aiming for, to make it look like this thing was on fire. But it sure got a nice, quite a bit of glow effect going on here. Now here, something that stood out to me, I'm like, is I'm not sure I'm bold enough, because as I said earlier in this stream, hitting someone on a thruster, the whole thruster ends up with that texture. So to hit the whole texture, hit the thruster with a nice glow effect going on, I'm like, oh my, wow. That is someone who has got a bit of courage there. So, and they got, little lines here and there going on. Part of me almost wants this line broken, that line all the way across. I almost want a break there, where the red line's going through. I almost want that to break there. It's not my blueprint, not my choice, and it's what they think looks good. Is what's important, not what I think looks good. It's what they think looks good. So yeah, but they've got some, a little bit of glowy bits, nothing, nothing bold and loud and this is bold. That's courage right there. That is courage. The rest of it is far more subdued, the stuff, and just gives it a little splash and stuff. And let's see what else. You don't have to have glowy bits on something. And then the only reason I think this is glowing is because I left the door open. Yeah. Now, you sure you can still see a little bit of the stuff inside there, but yeah, that's. And over here, definitely have these glowy bits going on here. Looks very nice. That's producing I think that's producing a nice glow bouncing off of I'm not sure the horns of this vessel. I'm not sure what you'd call them, but yeah. We've got some glow going on here. Some nice. I mean, doesn't that make that look like this is in addition to all the turrets facing on here, but it makes this look like a big gun going out through here, focused to that. You know, some sort of big energy cannon. That stuff, you know, making me think of the X-wing fighters a little bit with their little flare on the tips of their cannons. You know, with the piece there. So yeah, it again, glowing bits over here, you know, stuff. I mean, I really like how some of this is working. As far as I'm concerned, it doesn't have to be some sort of bright vessel at night to have a nice, good, clean glow effect going on. And this is actually, you know, if I think about it, this has got a lot of glow going on. It's just, it's not overpowering. It's not. I don't think it's overdone. It's just really nice. Again, over here we got some nice glows going on this. Oh, that is. Oh, I like that. I know when I was, I think when I was talking about this earlier, I just somehow visioned fixed weapons perhaps being in these brackets up here, you know, upgrading the vessel and putting fixed weapons in there. But seeing this glow going on, I'm like, I'd be loath. Yes, there's not a repeat of the red as far as I can see elsewhere in this vessel. It's predominantly the blue, but yet the way it is right up there in these brackets, it almost looks, you know, like it's some sort of special weapon itself. And I'd be loath to lose that. You know, I'd want to just leave that as is. I like that. I mean, I really do. Oh, I guess we do have some other warm colors going on. A little dash here, a little bit showing up on the deco work. Of course, that's not, you know, on the deco work that's not painted that way. It just happens to be the way the deco work is. And a little splash of the, you know, some. Now that can't be a real gun because it would have no line of fire right through the bulk of the vessel. But it still does look cool. You know, some sort of powerful antenna, perhaps. You know, special electronics. Looks, you know, I think it looks really nice. Okay. And I think I've made it back to my vessel. I already did test drive in my vessel. Let's turn the lights back on. I want light. Oh, wait. There we go. Okay, let's start with the incomplete vessels. Yeah. Oh, wait. Oh, I was in God mode. Yeah, I could have gone right through. Stop at the window like I can't make it through, and then like, oh, I could have. Okay, this thing, she's, take a exterior view of this. Get a feel for how it handles a bit. Wait a minute. It occurs to me that I did not bookmark I see forest, I see, and it isn't like I have this world memorized. You know, this is my first time trying to tour a bunch of vessels and look at them. I should have bookmarked. Oh, see, I am going completely the wrong way. I am going to marker that, except okay. And we'll go ahead and we'll turn off thrusters. Let's go to the other incomplete. Okay. I wonder if they got, they did say they were still, it was an incomplete vessel, so maybe they'll, I don't suppose there's a switch by chance. Maybe that's something they'll add, I don't know. Whether switching the control panel, actual physical switch to open up that window. Granted, I'm probably going to fly without the window, without using the window anyways. I'm going to do the exterior view. Okay. Got a feel for its roll. Okay. Spent so much time with my having fun with my walkthroughs. Okay, come on. Wait a minute. I walked into the wrong spot. Here's the bridge. Hey. Oh, there was one of these that didn't have a pentaxic tank. And I don't think it was one of the incomplete ones. I don't Which one was that? One of them didn't. Most of them have a pentaxa tank and are fine for the shields. And I'm not going to stress over the incomplete one, whether or not it did or not. I think it did. I'm getting myself all confused on this. This one rolls a little slower there. Almost like my tuned down. No, it's not tuned down. But the yaw and the pitch is a bit. Yeah, pitching down's a little bit slower. Pitching up is quick and easy. Probably reflects the differences in top thrust. And the placement of the thrusters. This is probably the thrusters are closer to center line sort of situation for up and down. Well, it looks like there's some off that are not center line, but maybe not a whole lot of strength going on that way. Looks like the primary ones might be closer to the center line. Okay. If I was doing this sort of stuff on a regular basis, I would have to get some sort of new base arrangement, something that would look nice but not quite so colorful, so that the primary focus would go to the and granted, I think the primary focus is going to the capital vessels for the most part, but I would say that something that was less likely to even draw minimal it looked nice but minimal chance at drawing you any attention to itself. Not that my bases are the greatest, but let's see. Which is also part of the reason I turned the bases off. So I was doing that lighting, checking these things out in the lighting, they would not. Okay. We're in the yellow. Come on. Well, that is interesting to see this thing. I did the exterior view, and I'm pretty much seeing the vessel because it's the tall ship instead of. So I'm going to have to use the Alt key and change my view. I wonder how this will affect doing rolls and. Let's try a roll. Okay, now that I've done my rolls and whatnot, take advantage of the marker. Looks like I left the thrusters on the other one over there. Oh, look, turrets and weapons are off. Did my walkthrough and I wouldn't even pay attention to that. Yeah. Nice. Okay. Thrusters, we turn them off. Okay. There are some builds that just look like they should go faster than they do, but the game engine restricts top speeds for capital vessels. So our yaw is impressive. Pitch is pretty good too. The roll is a little slow. But I'm pretty sure some of that is to the off-center, you know, like the yaw, those are some big thrusters that are, you know, pretty much out at the edges of the vessel, so that makes complete sense. They're also not center as far as the as far as up and down on the ship, the center line of the you know, the vessel as far as height. So I think they're probably contributing a little bit to that, although I'm guessing that's going to still be primarily mostly the thrusters for lift. So the top speed might be capped, but a bunch of the handling is, you know, the ship smaller its size. Of smaller size. So let's see. Figure out what I'm doing. Oh yes, a bunch of these I've been shutting them partially off before I move on. Okay. So this looks like, you know, the arrangement of the thrusters and everything makes me think of, I have a really good clean shot or clean view of everything, clean view of what's straight ahead, what I can see straight ahead. All the turrets will have a very good clean shot on it. Okay. Nice steady roll. Nice yaw. Awesome pitch. I don't know. I know it looks really alien kind of look, you know, as I said, I think of the horns of the bug, you know, this stuff. But yet, part of the reason I did another roll is because I'm like, just looks interesting, different. Okay. Oops, wrong way. Nice lazy roll. Modest yaw. Pitch. Part of me wants to examine these thruster arrangements in the rear a little bit more, just for the the look and the feel of it. But I think I want to move on with my fly the next vessel. And then I think that means I'll have flown them all. Oh. Wait a minute. Also, there was the command bridge up here. Why do I feel like either... Oh, I didn't even make the connection when I was... I'm like, this room looks familiar. I've been in here. I didn't even make a connection that this was a pilot seat up here. Is this the... No, it's got a pentaxic tank. Good, yeah. I can point it down a lot faster than I can point it up. Okay, now I want to say that one of these didn't have a pentaxid tank. So which one was it? Now, I'm thinking the easy way to try to remember which one it is to try to position... I'm not sure... Okay. I don't want the large rest, because that's just frigid. Those two have pentaxic tanks. pretty sure that these two had this one. Oh, that is the CDB 4B. Okay. And I'm pretty sure this one had it too. I want to say that these two definitely shields at 36,000. And this one I was pretty sure it had it too. 36,000. Tier 2 shield on that little shuttle. A powerful shield. 36,000. I know mine did. 36,000. 18,000. 18,000. That one's not as a work in progress, so I would expect it not to have. Maybe I'm just getting myself confused. Maybe they had all their they all had a shield. I just was confusing the work in progress with which is just a work in progress, so I would expect that it no, I show, oops. Scout has it. Just getting myself confused, I guess. What else? Man, oh, no, wait. It shows 36,000 on the stuff for the shield. This is it. The Headhunter is missing a pentaxa tank. I was right. There was one missing. So even though it says shields 36,000, I cannot manage pentaxa tank. I cannot fill it up. I cannot. Looks like they've done some sorting here. Hangar bay, yeah, so yeah, it looks like they've done sorting here. You have your warp drive and stuff. Detector. You go CPU statistics. You can see the polarized hull shield 2, you know, tier 2. But the pentaxa tank seems to be missing, so that's what it is. It's this one. I like the fact that it's a tall ship. I like some of this interesting deco work here. I like their bold, their bold move with the glow texture on the thruster. There's a bunch I like about this. It is, it's most unfortunate that it has a tier 2 shield but no pentaxa tank. Makes me, well, part of me would be tempted to wander through and see if I could say, oh, that's where it should be. Or if I actually see it, like, well, then why is it not using it? Why does it not let me get to it? But my experience is usually when it says there's, it doesn't show a pentaxic tank in that stuff, there usually is no pentaxic tank. And so the question would be is where was it supposed to be? Why is it not? Stuff. And the statistic, CPU statistics, how many go up here to generator. There's 6 generators. Good chance is that I can't guarantee it, but there's a good chance it's not going to redline powering up the shields. I'm not sure exactly how much everything else is really drawing and how that if that's really the case. But I'd feel fairly confident that it's probably not going to redline powering up the shields on that. If only it had a Pentaxa tank. Well, I have spent a lot longer than I had in mind initially to do this, but I was enjoying myself. It wasn't like I was doing this as any official capacity with the ZeroG. I was just enjoying myself and thought I'd share my journey through these vessels. Yes, I shared some story with this vessel because, of my own vessel, because it is my own vessel, and I do have stories with the history of this vessel before it became the turkey it is now on the workshop. And yes, I will probably release the upgraded version of the turkey at some point. I've actually already worked out one for this. Among these vessels here is probably one of the ones with the least amount of storage, with only, or ammo storage, I should say, with only 14K for the two ammo containers. Oh, did I take you through a tour of engineering? I probably just took you in here, and I probably didn't say much. All this piping, yeah, it's adding to my triangle count and that stuff, and yes, it probably does make this look a little more decorative back here. But if you pay attention, this, yes, they don't technically cover this whole area and stuff, but if I were I can't place a block here, I can't place a block there, can't place a block there, can't place a block there. These actually occupy all these spaces here. This is intentional. These blocks through here, this is intentional. These blocks are designed and placed. They don't eliminate all potential reactionary explosions that could happen, but they are intentionally placed to reduce the potential chain reactions that may happen should a fuel tank be detonated. So the chances of this fuel tank taking out more is minimized. So that fuel tank is probably not going to take out that fuel tank. It may destroy, damage, eliminate the blocks in between them. But these blocks are intentionally placed between them because, unlike other devices that may have a small explosion themselves, these things will be destroyed, usually no explosion, so therefore they will not set off the next fuel tank. So one fuel tank may go, but not both. Same over back here, or this is forward. Also, on my capital vessel, unless I've slacked off, yes, I realize some of the container extensions are going to be like hull blocks and are not going to be easily accessible, but other than that, every device, every thruster, fuel tank, generator, look, even expand. I've even marked where they put in the generator expansion stuff for upgrade. But every device on this, every basic device should be either accessible from the outside of the vessel or the inside of the vessel. So, and yep, it's my little. I didn't always do that. I want to say the Turkey capital vessel, the very first iteration I did of it, almost had every block accessible to be serviced Now, granted, back then I had some areas that didn't have O2 flow, so it'd be kind of like go back there at your own risk, hazard, and it wasn't just simply a hazard of you could get roasted by all the engines and thrusters. It was also a hazard of air doesn't flow back here. But there was passageways and access. So I want to say, unless I've messed up, every bit of the turkey is most every bit, every device should be accessible either from the outside or the inside of the vessel. The only exceptions being some of the container blocks built. There may be some of the container extensions, just the extensions themselves, that may be in such a way that they're not easily accessible. But at that point, if they're being destroyed, you probably have big gaping holes. And so if you just intelligently build it back. Oh. Okay. It was nice to see some other people's works. It was fun to share a little of the, stories and the mementos of the turkey. I know I got sidetracked a little bit there because the history I have with this capital vessel. I think at one point I mentioned that there's actually multiple O2 zones in this thing. At least I think I mentioned that some of these ventilators actually serve multiple independent O2 zones. So when I showed that combat cockpit and stuff, that ventilator, this room is airtight. That ventilator is servicing this room. However, if we hit God mode and go through here, we'll find that there's a separate air channel off this ventilator servicing this passage between engineering and the dining hall. So that ventilator serves O2 supply for there. It also serves as the O2 supply for engineering, each of them being a separate O2 chamber. And I think that's the 3 zones it serves. This here uses glass door here just so it can take its O2 feed off of here. And this ventilator does O2 zone in the main in the hangar to the elevator and connected spaces are connected to that. Notice that is an airtight door, so that this is also a separate O2 zone. These are actually getting their O2 because of the these O2 tanks are not airtight, so they're actually getting it from the bedroom, and the bedroom gets it off of the ventilator here, which services there, and actually has a small channel through here. Each of them acting as independent O2 zones. Stuff. So depending on where the hull breaches happen, it's possible that various parts of the ship may retain their O2 seal. Okay. But I'm not familiar with their ships. I would have had to do a lot more exploring than I did. Probably prep work before I even did this. Yes, I walked through a few of their vessels and looked at it before I did this stream. But I would have had to do a lot more investigation, a lot more work to look at things to figure out if they were using multiple O2 zones, how they were using them, where O2, how it worked in their vessels. and which is something I failed to check on them, to check their vessels for their O2. But then again, who am I to say where they felt O2 needed to be or not? The only one I really had some feedback on was this one, that one over there, the work in progress. That the one spot, they really only needed the one O2, only the one ventilator in that one area, because once there was an issue, having two wouldn't make any difference, because it wouldn't there wouldn't be any O2 in the space anyways. Okay. Well, I took my sweet time. I enjoyed myself. Hopefully some people will enjoy what I've done, the tours I've given, and these various steel and plastic combat vessels, early game combat vessels. I know they're talking about eventually doing future CV challenges in ZeroG to build more mid and late game CVs eventually. Things that might be like hardened steel or combat steel, level 20s and level 25s or whatever the tier 3s and tier 4s or whatever they're going to set as their standards at that time. Granted, several of these are tier 3s. They've got a lot of firepower. It makes me think of one of my vessels I built once. It was a farm vessel, but it had a lot of guns on it, and the idea was to kill drones, kill light threats that it was reasonable that it should be able to take care of as far away from the vessel as possible, because it was not meant for combat. So it was kind of like the glass cannon effect, but then in this case, kill them before they kill me. Okay. And so I guess some of these combat vessels may be along the lines of taking on light threats to kill them before they kill us. Okay. Well, I know I've said it several times, but have a good night. Enjoy. And wait, hold on. It occurs to me that I really don't know how many people might be let's see, let's refresh that page. No, it's not this. No, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for this one here. Stream manager. I think that will tell me 2 viewers right now. Okay. So have a good night. If there'd be another time, I'm going to probably try to figure out why I could not do. Wait, is that? Maybe I'm going to try doing a raid. Granted, there's only a couple of you, but for me, it'll be a great experience to see if I can pull it off. Because the other day I tried doing it, I had several viewers, and it was miserable fail. It was I tried several times and it never worked. So let me see if this yeah. So if you hang out, I guess we'll do a small raid. And it worked. Wow. This is raid now. This is welcome to the chat room.